morning to everyone present here. Welcome to Housekeeping NC2. I'm Lian Faye Di Palo, your trainer for today. Before we will start, let me first check your attendance as proof that you are here today. Kindly raise your hand and say presence once your name was called. Let's start with Miss Placido. Present. And lastly, Miss Sarmiento. Present po. Alright, it's good to know that no one is absent today. Are you all ready to listen and learn today? Yes, ma'am. Alright. Today, I'm going to conduct a pre-assessment. This assessment will help me to first is to determine your characteristic. Second is recognize your prior learning. Third is determine your training needs. And last but not the least is determine the current competencies to fit your needs. So these are the pre-assessment tools that you have to answer. The first one is data gathering instrument. The second is self-assessment checklist. And lastly, pre-test. So these are the pre-assessment tools that you have to answer. The first one is data gathering instrument. The second is self-assessment checklist. And lastly, pre-test. So what you will do is you will need to fill out and answer this form that I'll be giving you so that I could identify what type of learner you are for me to adjust and align to your prior knowledge. And so that I could also know you more better. Is that clear? Yes, ma'am. Alright. You may now start. Just answer it honestly. Cut ko na lang yun. Just answer them honestly because that will not affect your skills and grade. Okay? Okay, ma'am. Okay, time's up. Now, I'll be reading your response and answer regarding this form, and we'll tell you the result tomorrow, alright? Okay, ma'am. Okay, before we will start to our demonstration and to our training for today, I just want to discuss to you the competency-based training. Welcome to Housekeeping NC. What is CBT? A competency-based training or CBT focuses demonstrating specific skill and knowledge needed for successful job performance, learning progress at their own pace, demonstrating mastery before moving on. CBT-based emphasize continuous improvement, though performance-based assessments, leading to improved job performance, reduced training time, and increased employment motivation. Competency-based training refers to learning model where student must demonstrate the required level of knowledge and skill on a task prior to advancing to a next task. Characteristic of CBT. Identify the competencies required for each job role. Developing competency standard and assessment criteria. Evaluating employee performance. Providing training and development opportunities. Continuously monitoring and assessing employment performance. It is a collaborative in structure and active, time-limited, and brief. Empirical and problem-oriented. It is frequently employs the techniques of guide discovery, behavioral method, in vivo work. Summaries and feedback. CBT is fundamentally a collaborative project between therapist and client. Comparison between CBT approach to traditional approach. Competency-based training, learn at your own pace, mastering specific skills needed for real work, more personalized, engaging, and leads to better job performance, but requires more development and implementation effort. Traditional learning. Structured, predictable learning with standardized assessment. Why? Traditional learning. Structured, predictable learning with standardized assessment, less expensive and easier to implement, but may not be as engaging or relevant to real-world needs. In traditional education, students are expected to master grade level college and career-ready standard. In personalized competency-based learning, students are expected to master competencies aligned to college and career-ready standard with clear, transferable learning objectives. Then principles of CB. The training is based on the curriculum developed from the competency standard. Learning is modular in its structure. Training delivery is individualized and self-paced. Training is based on work that must be performed. Training materials are directly related to competency standard and curriculum modules. Assessment is based on the collection of evidence of the performance of work to the industry required standard. Training is based on and of the job components. Training allows for multiple entries and exit. Approved training programs are nationally accredited. That's the 10 principles of CBT. A trainer role similar to an architect is about building an environment that stimulates learning and growth. They are tasked with ikat ko na lang dun. Grade what is trainer pala to. The next one is role of trainer. Facilitate learning, guide and support, assess and evaluate, maintain standard, create a supportive environment, adapt and improve. To sum it up, the trainer role, similar to an architect, is about building an environment that stimulates learning and growth. They are tasked with fostering an environment that enables learning to acquire new knowledge, skills, and competencies. Role of training. Take ownership of learning. The next one is role of training. Take ownership of learning. Set goals and plan learning. Seek feedback and support. Demonstrate mastery. Reflect and improve. Communicate effectively. Collaborate with peers. Trainees pursue instruction for their personal goals and objective. And that's all about our CBT or competency-based learning. Okay, ma'am. And that's the CBT or competency-based learning. Before we will start to our demonstration, I just want to tour you in our facilitating learning facility. This is the institutional assessment area, distant learning area, learning resources center, practical work area, support area, contextual learning lab, computer laboratory. Today, I will show you the proper grooming standard. After it, you will be the one who will present the proper grooming in front of me and to your co-trainers. First, you need to wear a proper clothes, and then the proper and then you need to tie your hair. You need to wear a presentable clothes and tie your hair. Okay, Miss Sarmiento, can you present the proper grooming standard? The first is wear the proper clothing, the presentable clothes, for girls, and then tie your hair. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Miss Sarmiento, for presenting the proper grooming standard. May I call on Miss Sarmiento? I see here that you are not actually good in communication and proper grooming standard. Thank you for being honest that you are not actually good in it. But it's okay because later on, I will then demonstrate it for you to adopt it. What you have learned from our session training for today, Miss Sarmiento?
Ma'am, I have learned the proper way of tying hair and as well as grooming standard.
Very good. And that's all for our session for today. Thank you for coming to our training facilities.
Thank you, ma'am.